Welcome to my world, and this is the house that I live in. The house I live in is just the best house. It's small. We moved from Maitland to this house, and I'm very happy to live with my husband in this house. Life is a gift, and sometimes you're given something you don't like. And what do you do with it? You handle it. You tweak it. You begin to understand more about what's happening in your own life. It's hard sometimes. I love that question. What inspired me? The reason I wrote the book was the impossibility of life giving me a soulmate. I had many times prayed and asked God, please send me somebody. And it never came until finally it came wrapped in a disguise that I didn't like. The man was homeless. He didn't have a lot of resources, and I had to deal with that. But I ended up, and that's why I wrote the book, showing that things that you don't expect can be turned into things that you're absolutely in love with and grow from. And that's really why The Nun and the Bum came to be. And I'm grateful to God for it. That is a terrific question, and actually I never saw myself as a writer until I went to Middlebury College to learn Arabic. I had joined a group of Catholics, Muslims, Jews, and we were trying to make peace in the Mideast, which is like trying to sail to the moon without a rocket. But I went there and I failed. I couldn't learn. I thought the Arabic would come to me since as a kid I had spoken Arabic, my father and mother said. But anyway, I failed it, and I decided I'd go to the library at Middlebury and just read, and I got turned on to English, and I realized English is my language, not Arabic. So I was thrilled, and I began to do that writing from that experience. And that's my point, and I need to say this. Every event that happens to you can be turned into an event that is absolutely powerful for your growth. And that's what I felt was happening to me when I couldn't learn the Arabic, that I learned how to be a writer. That's a good question. I can't really tell you why I chose Anissa. I knew was an Arabic first name, and I wanted to be proud of my Arab background. The other, Andrew, I just thought that was a sweet little boy's name, and I chose it. And that's about the reason. No deep philosophical reason for that. That's a very good question, and I write about that in the book. My father, because I had came home and told him a dirty joke. I didn't think it was dirty, but some boy had told it to me in the 7th grade. And I came home and he was furious, and he pulled us out of public school and put us in Catholic school. And that's when, in that classroom, those nuns, I had a young nun and she was lovely, and I just began to think, I want to do that. I want to be a nun. And my father practically died when I decided to be a nun, but I had to go with my own desire. And I felt close to God. I really began to pray more easily and feel blessed. Well, I realized Vatican II came in. Now, Vatican II, most people know, was when the church began to change, and we were not so secluded in our habit and in our convent. and a lot of the nuns were leaving. And so, and the truth is, I did meet a priest, and I did fall in love with him, and we together did a lot of work for the church. And then I realized that I didn't belong in the convent anymore, and I was kind of happy to leave, and put on mini skirts and lipstick and did all the things that I had seen girls do. He's my buddy. He's one of my best buddies, and I really love feeling loved by God. That's true. I feel loved by God. And I'm glad you asked that. It's very real to me. I don't know why. My father told me that even as a 2, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, I would recite. He taught me the Our Father in Arabic, and when friends came over, he'd pull me out to speak the prayer in Arabic to them, and they would clap, and I loved that. I guess I have always loved having an audience. We were so compatible, and we believed in the same kind of spiritual reflections, and I felt so at home with him, safe, and we laughed and talked, and we had to hide because the church didn't allow priests to have girlfriends. Still doesn't. But he was really very kind and good, and I admired him because it'd be 4 o'clock in the morning, somebody was sick, he'd get up and go visit their home. So I felt like I was connecting to someone who also was very close to the Spirit of God. It was hard for my father. He couldn't even say goodbye. He tried to hug me and he couldn't, and he went back to the car. And I saw the two of them, my mother and father, drive off. And I stood before that huge door, mahogany door of the novitiate, right on the St. Lucie River. And I thought, this is it, Adele. Anissa, you go in. And you've waited for this day, so you're going to be a nun. And that's what I did. I think that my father really influenced me to have a certain courage about taking chances in life. He took so many chances. He came from Syria as a kid, 9 years old, and they sent him back because he had something they called trachoma or something with his eyes. And then an uncle brought him to the United States through Canada. So speaking of today and all this illegal immigrants, my father, in a sense, was an illegal immigrant. But he took the United States, especially Florida, and started a business, grocery store. And the rest is history. It's beautiful. My favorite part of the book is hard to say because there's a lot of favorite parts. I guess, in a way, when Sister Brendan, my favorite nun, came to me in a dream. I was so conflicted by this man who had nothing, he had everything in a way that I needed and wanted, but that he had no material resources. And she came to me in a dream and she said, go for it. He's the man for you. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you have to go, you have to, like my father would say, you have to risk it. And that's really a gift I was given. That nun, I loved her. She would do things, she didn't let the stupidity of the convent life, some things that were so stupid, bother her. She would laugh them off. This nun was a saint, and I feel fortunate that I was so close to her. We were buddies. Her name's Sister Brendan, don't forget it. Sister of St. Joseph. really why I wanted to write the book. That no matter how desperate you feel, no matter how a failure you might feel, no matter that things didn't work out the way you planned, there's always a surprise in life, a gift, and it comes to help you know yourself and others. And I feel like that message has to be told over and over again, because this book, the story, was about that very reality, that things can turn out in ways you didn't imagine, and you're gifted more than you even asked for. And that's the message I want the book